It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paycor Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Tonight, it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. 2-1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Gun.
Here's Burrow to throw right away. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow. And the Dolphins rush, gets home, down he goes. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Flowers able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
11.
Now it's Burrow. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. That was a long, sustained opening drive, but in the end, only able to get 3, the field goal out of it.
And absolutely, you'll take the points and the early leads. You never get those back. But there will be a little bit of disappointment that they didn't punch it in for 6 after that kind of yardage and that kind of drive that they had.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he's got room. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect? Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Tagovailoa. On the out route, he's got Mostert. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, the gap man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Here's Williams to return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop. The Bengals at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. They got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Partner, I think
this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
After the turnover, it's Tua. Steps away to his left. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. If you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Buying time to his left. He'll hit Mostert again here. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Burrow. He finds his running back, Mixon. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this, because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
On 1, ready?
First down. Here's Burrow. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake, forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
11, Thomas. 11.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
11 mighty. Go.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And he whips that one incomplete there.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Burrow will throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Burrow. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just past the 35. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
90 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Play action, now it's Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
First down catch there by Jalen Waddle. What a promising debut for the 6th overall pick in the 2021 draft. Led all rookies with 104 receptions, mainly catching passes from his college teammate, Tua Tagovailoa.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. This will be caught at about the 6. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
That second down play nets a -4.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Here we go.
The Dolphins on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. It gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
Sanders' kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On one, ready?
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2.
Here we go, here we
Ball
go.
up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. Quick slant caught by Chase. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 2nd and 5. Here's Burrow. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. And they're going to move it down here inside the 25. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Open man is Higgins. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Here we go.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
So first thing crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
Tua now on 1st down. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go, here we go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
11, 11, 11. 11, MT, hey. 11, stop.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
McPherson's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
Fields it right around the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 134 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals will take over possession here with the 44. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Here we go. Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them? And
taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 30. And it's a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
When you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Now it's Burrow. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now Hill to return it. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and it'll be Dolphin football.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 169 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
Well, he's saying I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there, let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The kick by Sanders is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. A touchdown would tie it. They trail 13-6 as they come up with a 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Whoa. Stop.
2nd and 5 now. Burrow. His throw incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They go play action with Burrow. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's good for 28 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory, down at the 31. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Bradley Chubb came in and got him. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Now on 2nd and 13. Burrow. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, a 22.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now. 4th quarter. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Tua's throw taken in by Waddle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. From the gun, it's Tua. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
And he's got it to about the 40.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 40 now on second down. Burrow. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. On first down, Tagovailoa. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. He is going to find Hill here. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 32-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way has made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together.
Touchdown Dolphins! Tyreek Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and they will take a 7-point lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Ready?
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Burrow will throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
On 1, ready?
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Now Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On one, ready? Gotta go.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee you, he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done.
Here we go.
But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
1st down. Here's Burrow. That is taken in by Hurst. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here we go.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
11.
Here's Burrow. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
On 2.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. That one checks all the boxes, doesn't it? You get the 1st down, check. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, check.
Well, how about one last check? Keep your quarterback from getting hit. That's a big check.
Yeah, check there as well. Good call. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Haven't heard much from him all night, but welcome to the party, making his presence felt in a big way.
They've kept him under wraps all night long, but boy, did he find a great time to bust out.
Here's Burrow. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Burrow. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
On one, ready?
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Throwing, Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. To throw, Burrow. And that one complete once again to Higgins. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down one, is tempted to go for two. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carrying it in overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans though holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
They're the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. Igbenogany going to take it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe call is to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
And they will finally haul him down at the Dolphins' 15. 96 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Here we go.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Cincinnati, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.